And you're inside My Fix It Up Life, and today we're talking about designing for poop. Call it what you will. Number 2, caca potty, the deuce. It's all here. It's all inside our house. It smells. We know it's happening. So what do we do about it? Talking about beautiful designs for the very necessary, plus more on this episode of My Fix It Up Life. Before you paint, do it the Hyde way, not the hard way, with Hyde's dust-free sander. Attach to your wet dry vac and go. No drywall dust on your furniture, no tough cleanup when you're done. Buy online at Amazon.com. And you are here inside My Fix It Up Life. And we're doing it. We're talking SHI double plus signs, because that's how we write it on Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and everywhere else we are. And it's just one of those things that we all have to deal with. We don't want to talk about it, but we all spend time in there every day. Jason Cameron on our man cave bathrooms mentioned that, you know what? Guys maybe spend, I don't know if it's extra time. It might just be the guy clock. But it all happens, and it's not just the grown-ups, of course. It's everything from our darling children. I remember the sausage links of diaper pail diapers that you put in the thing and twist so that it hides the smell, and you don't have to go outside every day. Of course, you can do that with cloth diapers, and there are different ways to then disguise or hide, or as we like to say, design for poop, to make that diaper pail not just a plastic diaper pail with, you know, you bought it from the store. We've all had them if we've had kids. And you know what? Well, they just look like you're waiting to get rid of them, because you are. But there are ways to design around that to make it an attractive item in a baby's room and not an eyesore. Same thing maybe with those of us who have cats, and Theresa has cats. I don't have cats. I just live with them. And the cat, I have a blog coming out about this where I go on basically what amounts to a rant about plastic shopping bags. And my new secret to make the litter box better is to use paper shopping bags, because they stay open. So for scooping the poop, a bag that stays open stays upright and enables me to just take the pee-soaked sieve to get the poop that my face is in more efficiently out of the litter box and into the trash where I want it. Is great. Just a simple thing. I stumbled on it by accident, and I use it every day. But we also have, and we showed this on Facebook, and we got a great comment from Brandon about this. We have made a box for our litter box, which you can see at MyFixitUpLife.com. And in it, we store, it's like a little cat stuff condo. And the top compartment is large. It's like a bench size. And we made it out of 5-pun beadboard. So it's PVC. It's great because it's easy to keep clean and it doesn't absorb odors and smells. We put the litter box in there, little door on the side, little lid, and down it comes. The litter box and some of the smell is inside there. Underneath, sort of in the parking garage level, we keep cat toys. We keep little balls for them to play with. We keep their food also. It's totally isolated from the area above, so it's clean for their food. It's clean for us to reach in there. And if we have this in our basement, which we're about to remodel right now, but if you have a litter box situation where you have to walk by it every day, what do you want to walk by? the open baking tin aluminum dish that we've all used, full of litter that's everywhere, or something that looks nice. Theresa put a cushion on it. The cats can sit there and look outside. When Brandon, who commented on this on our Facebook page, did make a salient comment that it might smell, but the bench part of it with the pillows isn't for people, it's for cats. So whether it's dog poop, kid poop, cat poop, or people poop and pee and cleaning it up, we are covering the bases with HGTV's Genevieve Gorder. We've got Genevieve Gorder. We've got Dinah from DIY Inspired, and Janine, who I mixed up with Genevieve. I apologize. Janine from Afro Chic, joining us to talk about all things poop. So it's going to get crappy right after this. We'll be back with more My Fix It Up Life.
Add more curb appeal to your home.
Create a memorable entrance with Therma-Tru fiberglass doors and 5-pond synthetic trim that won't warp, crack, or rot.
And give you those rich details that make your home a showpiece.
Make your great entrance by visiting thermatru.com and 5pond.com. You're rocking it. You're here. You're inside My Fix It Up Life. I'm Mark. We're talking with Janine from Afro Chic. And Janine, honest to goodness, you've been on the show before. We love having you on here. But when it comes to this topic, I'm going to go ahead and say, it's a first.
It definitely is a first. You guys always have such a fun conversation, so this should be a pretty interesting one today.
Good. Well, I will ask the painfully obvious question. What tips do you have for designing around poop?
I had to think about this one a lot. So, one, I do have a cat, so I understand what it's like to have sort of the kitty litter box, which you need to be functional, you need it to be in your space, but you do want to make it not so gross that when people come over, it's sort of right there. But I'm an apartment dweller, so we've had to always find a way. Do we put the kitty litter in the bathroom? Do we put it in the kitchen? And of course, we'll get one of those domed ones that, tries to cover it up. But I would say that if you are, you basically have to have the cat and the cat has to go poop, you definitely want to make sure that you can pretty it up a little bit. So a few things that we've used in our space, we'll get a nice little mat that we put out in front of it because, you really can't hide it, particularly in an apartment. So I recommend to people, when you're going to some of your favorite home and garden stores, you'll find some great mats that are for, right outside the door. Put those by the kitty litter box, and it can be a little bit fun as well. And then, also there are some actually really good disposable pans. So if you're a little bit afraid of, oh, my God, I have this sort of permanent pan in my face, and they start to smell, and you really have to wash them out, I suggest at any local grocery store you'll find disposable pans. So the cat can go there. You can throw them away every week. They don't have an odor to them, and they kind of keep the cat's area pretty clean. That's definitely my suggestion with cats. And with kids, I don't have kids. My sister has a kid, and I know that when she was picking out that diaper genie, she was just, made sure to go with something that was, nice looking so it didn't look like it was a diaper pail. So she picked a white one. It's sort of a tower, but it's cool looking. You look at it, you're not sure if it's the diaper genie or it might just be a very cool modern trash can. So look for pieces like that that don't stick out and say, this is for the poop or for the pee, but this is something that's a little bit functional that looks nice.
So when you're talking about the cats in the litter box, and by the way, I need to share a story with you because you're clearly not this person, but we did a project at someone's home and we spent a lot of time there. We stayed after, you know, sort of the working time to talk with them. And I am not kidding you even a little. Litter box, 4 words. Litter box, living room.
Ooh.
I want 37 layers of, oh my God, are you kidding? They had, and there's a question associated with this. They literally had no idea. And it was profound what was going on just in that whole area. And they ate in there. I mean, they did the whole thing. And they didn't think they were doing anything, I shouldn't say wrong, but they were unaware that their guests might have a problem with that. So if you're talking with someone, and you can sort of broaden this out from designing for poop to, say, maybe designing a bathroom or organization, looking at someone's habits and saying, graciously, you're disgusting. Here's what you need to change.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely don't want to have it in a living room or an area where you're entertaining because, like you said, I mean, it's a smell. Sometimes when people have lived with the animals for a long time, you do kind of forget. You don't really smell the smell like someone who's entering your home would. But I would definitely say for those who live in a house, I mean, you know, try to keep the litter and those things downstairs, like in a basement if you have it. You know, kind of if you have a washroom area or something like that, just keep it sort of back in there, sort of where the cat can have privacy and your guests are not exposed to, you know, those odors. But if you do live in an apartment space, you know, you really do want to keep it relegated to the bathroom or to, you know, sometimes to the kitchen. But I would really recommend the bathroom just because that's where all those sort of smelly things stay anyway. So you want to kind of keep the rest of your home very nice and clean. And there are definitely things that you can do, too, to keep the odors down. You know, you can definitely use sort of like baking powder helps to keep odors down, you know, sprays, candles. I mean, you definitely want to make sure that if you have pets, that you're having a pretty clean environment and no cat litter in the bedroom, no cat litter in the living room. Those are spaces that they should not even be entering at all. And I know people love their pets and sort of, you know, that you want to have them as part of the fabric of your home, but you basically don't want them to go to the bathroom anywhere where you know, also yourself would not go to the bathroom.
So you were talking earlier about the rug and just go pick something up somewhere. Are you talking about like an outdoor carpet, not a carpet, but an outdoor piece? Are you talking about a bath mat, or does it really matter and you're going for the look more than the function?
Yeah, I mean, I like the outdoor mats. They're great. And the other thing is, it is a little bit of for function as well, because when cats get out of the litter, you probably have seen it spreads all over the place, and you'll get litter that comes up in other parts of the home, especially if you have carpet. It ends up being in there. So get an outdoor mat. The cat can scratch it. They can, you know, wipe their little paws off on it. It keeps things much cleaner in the litter areas. The litter, a trail of it is not sort of dragging throughout the house. And it's also sort of a fun little piece. You know, you can get one that's striped. You get one that has color that you can just have there as a decorative element as well. I definitely say I don't decorate a lot of spaces with, you know, the cat litter in mind, but even in my own, I've definitely had to try to, you know, figure it out. And those are some of the things that we've employed in our own space. But Mark, you made me think about when you told that story, we had a friend, and this is about kid stuff, but we had a friend who actually had the potty training potty in the kitchen, and their child would use it in the kitchen where we were all eating and use the potty right in front of us, and that was so gross. So another thing that you leave it in the bathroom.
I'm not gonna talk, Janine. I'm just gonna make facial expressions. Thank goodness this is a hangout on Google Plus and a YouTube video, because I have Zero. What's less than 0 words for that situation? Again, are people born with just blinders on? What is that?
I'm going to say they had lack of sleep. I'm going to blame it on lack of sleep, that they just were not thinking that was really just the worst place to put the potty training gear. And again, put it in the bathroom, to the guest bathroom. Even if you're running out of space because you have kids, because you have pets, put it in those areas. But you want to make sure that when you're having guests over, when you're having family over, when you're having friends over, that, the poop and the pee and those sort of things are out of the way. And it's also for your own sake as a homeowner. You want your home to still be a nice, enjoyable, peaceful, calm, and relaxing space. And when you start mixing things up, where you have potty training stuff or litter in your kitchen or in your living room, your house becomes less of that. It just becomes sort of this weird space that's beholden to a lot of these functional things, but isn't sort of the comfort and relaxation that you need.
So when you're designing for people, for spaces at Afro Chic,
yes,
you're designing looks, you're designing all kinds of things. Do you think about, or do you have advice for people to think about, and you might want to make it easy to clean, and here are some things that we are sort of, is on the back burner if you're someone who maybe cleans their bathroom every day, every week, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe that every piece in your home should be beautiful, down to those really functional pieces like your cleaning pieces. So, some of my favorite sources when I'm looking for even something like a toilet brush is I'll go to Muji in New York. Has really great pieces. They're inexpensive. They're modern. They're very clean looking. But you can also go to your local Target, to your local Walmart, and find some great pieces that you can stick, behind the toilet that are still there for your functional cleaning supplies. And then, of course, you want to bring into those spaces, candles and flowers and things like that just really, make it a little bit more of an oasis rather than just, this is, a functional space, but more of that calming and relaxing space as well. So we add all those elements on top, to a space. They're really pretty pieces, but absolutely, we have to think about how you live, and hopefully in terms of how you live, there are going to be cleaning supplies and things like that, but you can find really nice brushes and cleaning brushes and things like that to incorporate into your space. And then anything else, we really do add storage or cabinetry to hide those other things away that we don't need to see every day.
So I've got 40, maybe 50 questions based on all the things that you just said. So I hope you have time to hang around. But
I have time.
For apartment dwellers or even old house dwellers, which often have the same thing that they're dealing with in the bathroom, which is either it's really small and a lot of people use it, or there's just nowhere to store things. When it comes to those cleaning supplies, that old house people always have to use the plunger. Always. It's just the way life is. And apartment dwellers, they're just, there's a vanity cabinet. Like, I'm thinking back to some of the places that I've lived in. It's just not much space, and you don't want to shove a plunger in there next to your soap. Do you have, besides the store you mentioned in New York, any ideas, boxes, bins, things that you've used to mask that, the bathroom tools?
Yeah. That's a good question, particularly about the plunger, because you end up needing it, like you said, if you're an old house or an older apartment, but where do you put it? So I definitely say that if you do have any sort of extra storage space, you really want to put it there. You definitely don't want to leave it in the bathroom where people can sort of see it. But at the same time, it ends up happening if you have an old toilet and you have guests over sometimes, they end up needing to use that plunger. So when that happens, I say, it's funny, but, I'll say go a little bit industrial chic and get that old school looking plunger that, can be an element as well. It's got the wood handle. It's got the black top to it. And, keep that in the space. otherwise, I would say if you really do have some extra storage space, put it over in a bucket or put it over in sort of a box that's waterproof, that's sort of a bin that's waterproof, so you can have sort of hide those things away in any extra closet space that you have. You really don't want to have them out, but if you are forced to, try as hard as you can to sort of tuck them behind the toilet or in a little corner, and maybe put a trash can or something like that in front of it. Because I do know I've lived in some really small apartments, and we didn't have extra storage. So those things were they were there just because, we had to have them there. But we did our best in sort of hiding them. And I will say, like, for the toilet brushes in particular, a lot of them come with stands. So you don't need those sort of standalone brush that, I can think of in my in-laws' place. They have the standalone brush that's sort of just propped up against the toilet. You don't need that at all. You can find some really good toilet brush stands that, pretty much hide the brush inside, keep everything very clean and sanitary, and always, make sure that if those things are being used, you wash them down, you soak them in bleach to make sure that they do stay clean and that they don't add any sort of extra odor to your bathroom space when they're not in use.
Janine, I guess that rules out then the trophy case I was going to build for my plungers. Okay.
Probably.
You have got to follow Afro Chic Janine Hayes, who's just a wonderful presence in the design world and everywhere else. We thank you so much for joining us. Stay with us. We'll be back. We're designing for poop.
Thank you.
On My Fix It Up Life.
Coffee burning up the air. Taking a toll on her heart, and I know, it ain't easy at home.
Rebuilding Together believes that everyone deserves to live in a safe and healthy home. For nearly 25 years, Rebuilding Together has provided critical home repairs for low-income homeowners in need. With support from volunteers and skilled professionals, Rebuilding Together affiliates complete 10,000 rebuild projects every year, working to revitalize and stabilize vulnerable neighborhoods and communities across the country. Join Rebuilding Together and rebuild in your community. Find out how you can make a difference and get involved at rebuildingtogether.org.
It's time to bring beauty back in your next project by seeing red. Born to beat the elements, Western Red Cedar is awesome for outdoor rooms, decks, fences, pergolas, and more. Inside, Cedar's a sweet choice for hope chests, highlight walls, and woodworking projects, big and small. Stable, chemical-free, and safe, Cedar's a natural choice. So bring beauty back to the yard and punch up projects inside of the house. For more information and ideas, see red at WRCLA.org. And you are inside My Fix It Up Life. We are designing for poop. We're talking crap on the My Fix It Up Live show, or whatever you would like to call it. Say you're more polite. Say you're more refined, gentrified even. You wouldn't even utter a syllable like I just did, and I may have, in doing so, pre-offended our guest, Dinah Wolf from DIY Inspired. Also a mom, so you know that there's a day when you don't think about poop a lot. Then there's a day when you constantly think about poop. Is it the right color? Is it coming out enough? Is it coming out too little? And how did poop get there? Does that sound about right, Dinah from DIY Inspired?
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
I'm doing really well. Excited to be here.
Oh,
I have
good.
so many poop ideas.
Sentences, hold on. I gotta, give me some paper over here. I've gotta keep a journal of things no one has ever said to me before because of this show. I've got some poop ideas. I have a pen. Go ahead. Just go ahead. I jot this down.
All right, well, let me start with diaper pails, since It's been a while. My daughter's 4 now, so she's been potty trained for a little over a year or maybe even 2 now. But I do remember it wasn't that long ago designing around I use the diaper genie. But if I were to have a kid again and to design a nursery again, I think my family and I are really big on going to flea markets. And here in Southern California, there are a ton of awesome flea markets. And there you can find a lot of vintage items. And I don't know if you remember or know what I'm talking about, but back in the 40s and 50s, their diaper pails were much cooler than the diaper genies, but they were like these enamel and porcelain pails.
Yeah.
And they were shorter. Yeah, they were short, and typically they were pastel colored, and they had this like duck or bear or bunny on them, hand painted on them. You can still find those at antique markets, and they're actually kind of beautiful for what their functionality is. So I would definitely be on the lookout for those. And if you can't find them, or if you don't have a local flea market like that, you can buy them online now on Etsy and eBay. They run from like $15 to $50, but they're really cool. So you get this smaller vintage pail, and it's short, so you have to empty it more often. However, that does help with the smell of the diapers, because, you know, once that diaper pail fills up, it's heavy and disgusting, and the smell gets worse.
It's like it's crawling after you in your house. You know, you walk by it and you're kind of like, I'm pretty sure I should change that. Yeah, I got to. Whoa, I got to change that right now.
Yeah. But the little pails, they'll look pretty on a shelf. You can, you know, put the other baby's items on top or next to the diapers in a pretty basket. And the key for the smell is to line the pail with like a plastic trash bag, the smaller plastic trash bag, and then before you put any diapers in it, sprinkle a little what do you call it? Baking powder.
Yep.
In the bottom, and then every time you change a diaper, just sprinkle a little baby powder in the pail. So you can even make that pretty by, you know, putting the baking powder in another little container with a, you know, top with holes on it, and you can decoupage it with fabric or something cool to match your nursery. And then you have this pretty little container next to the diaper pail that you can just sprinkle a little sprinkle every time you change a diaper. And then the lids to the diaper pails are really cool too, and they fit really nicely, and it looks cool for what you're doing.
I'm sort of seeing the you would see them in a bakery or someone who bakes seriously, the flour that, you know, the metal flour sifter, like shaker.
Yeah.
You know, like that would totally be in the same mojo is that it's probably a ceramic covered, ceramic finished metal can.
Mm-hmm. Or I'm a big repurposer and upcycler, so even like you can get a plastic Parmesan cheese container and clean that out and make it pretty. You could, you know, cover it with fabric or a decorative like scrapbook paper or something and cover that up to match your nursery. And then you can even monogram it with the baby's initial, whatever you want to do. And it'll look nice, and it's part of the nursery versus just this, you know, baking powder box right next to it.
So Dinah at DIY Inspired, I love the name of that whole thing. That's really cool. What would you say generally is your design sense? Like, what do you like to recycle, you like to upcycle and repurpose, but overall, is that just part of the way you like to design, or is that the whole thing?
I think it's a part of it, and design is a very strong word for me because I've never saw myself as a designer until people started calling me that. Because I'm not formally trained in it or anything like that. I just like things to look nice, and I have a way of doing it. But my style is more of like mixing modern, industrial, vintage stuff all together. Because I think even if your style isn't vintage for that nursery pail, it certainly can look modern if you give it that, because the metal with the handle and stuff, you can work it into any type of whatever your design aesthetic is.
Oh, I like it. That's really cool. I kind of feel eclectic from what you were saying there.
Exactly.
Oh, that's perfect.
Definitely eclectic is my style.
Now, you said you had poop ideas, plural. So keep bringing me. I love the layering of baking soda. I'm gonna put baking soda on everything wherever I go from now on. It's just all gonna be layered. I'm gonna have it. Wear a tool pouch with baking soda in it everywhere. It'd be like snowman. But hyperbole aside.
Okay. Yeah, moving on to the cat poop idea. Or ideas is,
my favorite.
I like your idea of the little cat condo. I think that's the ultimate solution for cat owners. And if you're not as handy, you can upcycle a thrifted side table or dresser, or I've even seen them made out of old TVs, like the tube TV boxes. But the easiest thing I could explain is getting a small cabinet and with doors that open, and then you can buy those freestanding cabinets with the doors, and then just put a hole on the side or even a doggy door. And I know cats are finicky in their personality. Some of them don't like doggy doors. Some of them freak out with the flap. It depends on the cat.
Some of them can't they can't figure it out. They think it's a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So if you do the hole, you can even make the hole pretty by covering it with a little picture frame, and have a little painted frame on the side of the door to make it look a little nicer, a little curtain. And then you'll be able to open it to clean out the litter box from the front or the side or whatever. And then the top would be functional. You can decorate the top with, your little decorative accents and stuff, so it doesn't look like a litter box.
Anything to make it. Now, are you a pet owner?
I have 2 dogs. I have a Chihuahua, Pablo, and a Pug, Harley. However, my entire family, just between my brother and my stepmother, they have 6 cats.
Holy smokes! So you know about cats, and you know about dogs, because how do you manage it with your dogs?
Luckily, my dogs are trained to go outside. And we have a pretty big enclosed yard where they can't get out. So, unfortunately, every day my daughter helps me on dog duty patrol, and we have to clean up the backyard with the pooper scooper and stuff. But luckily, they are trained.
But that's in every...
Which is a lot different than cats, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But still, and I've got pretty much no shortage of poop stories myself. So... We as contractors and designers and so forth, we're in lots of different people's homes, and we go there to look at a project, whatever it is. At some point we're in the yard, and I was talking about this with Janine from Afro Chic earlier. They don't see it, but we do. So if their dog goes, for example, in the side yard or a certain part of the backyard, or all of the backyard, we show up, we don't know where they go, and all of a sudden you're either standing in it, or you have stood in it, or you're standing right next to it, and it is like a freight train of aroma. So,
Yeah.
so I appreciate, and I'm going to ask you, I appreciate your sort of everydayness of cleaning it up. And because people like flush the toilet every day, why wouldn't you flush the yard every day?
Yeah, you know what, especially with the cat owners, with the cat litter inside, I mean, bottom line is you got to clean it pretty often to keep the smell away. You can buy all the deodorizers and the cat litter, the scented cat litter, and put baking soda on it or whatever every day. I mean, it comes down to cleaning it up, keeping it clean often.
Well,
and then Janine was talking about, earlier she was talking about the mats. I kind of asked some friends around about this topic that had cats, and they had one of my friends, Allison, had a good idea where she says that she uses the textured doormats, because there's so many cool doormats now that are pretty and modern, and they fit your space. Use those instead of the ones made for cats, because she said they tend to be expensive. I don't know why, but they're more expensive. And then also like fake grass to keep their I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure. That makes sense. They would like that on their paws.
Yeah, the fake grass.
Yeah.
You can kind of make it look cool, depending on how you set it up.
No, that's really good. I like your approach. First, I like your design aesthetic of the eclectic, using all these different crafted, found, discovered, yard saled, flea marketed items. I love that. And you also brought up the work part of it. You wash your hands all the time, you take a shower all the time. The same kind of goes for your pets. I think that's good advice, especially if you have people over quite a bit, or you're going to have someone over, a contractor, anybody. Kind of realize that your home decor extends out into the yard. And we actually posted at MyFixitUpLife a blog today that has some things from our Pinterest page, and someone is smarter than cats out there. And I'm not kidding when I say they have 3 litter boxes, the kinds with covers, that they literally hooked up to exhaust pipes and a fan that blows outside of there. It's like a radon pipe or plumbing. It's got to be genius. It has to be. Now, it's also sucking heat and air conditioning out of their house too, but it's ugly as sin. So you got to put it in your basement or somewhere. But it's they've done an end around the cats who go in the middle of the day when you're at work or when you're out doing something, going somewhere, and you can't just follow your cats around, because then you're crazy.
Right. My brother, he's actually the creative one of the family. He's like a cross between Martha Stewart and MacGyver. And with his cats, he has 2 cats in a small apartment, and he had a screen, like one of those room divider screens. Yeah. And behind it had all the cat supplies. But on the wall, he created little cubes of blocks that were stairs that went, freestanding blocks, if you can picture it, that were stairs up to the top of a entertainment stand, and the litter box was on top of the entertainment stand, close to the ceiling, and the cats would go up there, and he would just take a stool and clean it out, but it was like completely out of sight. So up above, and the cats loved climbing up the stairs and onto the top of the entertainment stand.
Do you have a photo of that at DIY Inspired? You should. You gotta share that project.
I should. I'm kicking myself for not, and he's actually moved out of that apartment as of July. So unfortunately I don't have it, but it looked really cool, and the screen had everything. So the the cat food, everything was behind the screen. And it looked nice. And then, and even if you were to keep the cubes up, it kind of looked like an art piece up the wall. So if you're a cross between Martha Stewart and MacGyver, you can do that project yourself too.
That is awesome. I think one of the issues that people do have with cats, and Theresa may not agree with me because her main goal with the cats involves things like cuddling and purring and being stationary, which are great, and she loves her cats. She really, truly does. But they have all day to spend, and they need somewhere to go and stuff to do, and I think that's great. I really think that's a good idea to activate them. So, and this has nothing to do with our topic today, designing for poop. I just wanted to say designing for poop again. I think that giving the cats somewhere to go and something to do is wonderful. I love that idea. I will also be jotting that down. Not that it won't be a YouTube video I could watch, but I will totally steal that as if I invented it and watermark every single photo MyFixitUpLife.
Just as long as I could post it on DIY Inspired.
That's right. I'm also deleting this entire YouTube video and Google Plus Hangout. I gotta get the paper trail behind me so that I can say, when I was creating this alone, by myself, uninfluenced by, say, DIY Inspired. So where does DIY Inspired come from? Why are you inspired?
Oh my gosh, I find inspiration everywhere. I was a career cat. Well, I still am, I guess. But I was, I wore a suit and heels every day, and I did the corporate thing for a long time. And when I had my daughter, my husband and I talked about it and thought that I should stay home, and I needed a creative outlet. I honestly didn't know I was this creative until I started writing. And then 3 years later, honestly, everything inspires me. Other bloggers, just walking out in nature, retail stores, I mean, everywhere, TV, television, magazines, my friends, my family. I'm always on the lookout for inspiration on whatever it may be.
Wow. Well, Dinah Wolf from DIY Inspired. Follow her on Twitter. Check her out on Facebook. Go to that website. Get inspired yourself and stay right here because we're coming back. We're designing for poop on My Fix It Up Life.
Where do you begin?
Looking for a no-hassles roof for your home? DaVinci Roofscapes offers affordable slate and shake roofing tiles that add long-term beauty to your home. The synthetic DaVinci tiles resist mold, algae, fungus, and insects. Backed by a 50-year warranty, DaVinci roofs are fire-resistant and made to withstand severe weather like high winds and hail. It's no wonder thousands of homeowners have chosen DaVinci slate and shake tiles to not only protect but enhance the beauty of their homes. Learn about award-winning DaVinci products at DaVinciRoofscapes.com or call 1-800-328-4624. Rebuilding Together believes that everyone deserves to live in a safe and healthy home. For nearly 25 years, Rebuilding Together has provided critical home repairs for low-income homeowners in need. With support from volunteers and skilled professionals, Rebuilding Together affiliates complete 10,000 rebuild projects every year, working to revitalize and stabilize vulnerable neighborhoods and communities across the country. Join Rebuilding Together and rebuild in your community. Find out how you can make a difference and get involved at rebuildingtogether.org.
You're back. You're inside My Fix It Up Life, and today's big topic is always coming in number 2. Coming in second, and it is one of the bare necessities of life. We have to do it. It's inside of our house. It's inside of our homes, and the deal is to make it as pleasant as possible, and in an impossibly ham-handed segue, I am going to hand it off to one of the most pleasant people we know, Genevieve Gorder from HGTV. Genevieve, are you here, or have you hung up and run screaming?
I'm here, and I see my face on a video screen, but I don't see anybody else.
We don't see your face on a video screen, and that's unfortunate. I wonder if there's some tech check turning the camera on or off that can make it happen.
Oh, let me try it again. Well, at least I can hear you, so we can start chatting at least, right?
Totally. How are you?
Okay. I'm great. How are you?
We're doing very well, thank you. Theresa is ill today and really is bummed out that she doesn't get to share some time with you, because the last time we talked from... Hey, I see your face! I see your face!
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Do I have all my sounds?
I don't know. I gotta pick up my phone and a cup, pencil.
Okay, wait. There we go. I think I got it figured out. Hi.
Dude, you killed it. It's there. It's done.
All right. Yeah, we did it. I'm a tech wreck, so I'm happy that this actually happened. I'm really impressed.
Oh, this is beautiful. Well, a big hand to our producer, Tara, who drives the bus behind the scenes, puts all this stuff together, and really couldn't do it without her.
Definitely not. I agree. Like I said, I design things, but I'm a tech wreck.
I love it. I can, like, chop down a tree, operate a chainsaw, dig a hole, run an excavator, miter saw, table saw, but technology... I tried to sign up for a new gym. This is how bad it is. I change gyms, so I go to the thing and I sign up online because I don't want to stand there and wait. I fill out every last word, page freezes. I have to go in there anyway.
Why are you going to a gym? Aren't you a runner?
I do all kinds of stuff. I run, I go to the gym.
What are you doing?
I'm doing my big thing right now is I'm addicted, so I have to tell you, but I don't want to make it about this. Is I got addicted to something called Spartan Race.
What's that?
They call it an obstacle course race.
Aggressive.
Yes, yeah, it's you would like it if you were not well, for example.
Well, I'm a little bit crazy, so maybe I'd like it. Tell me what it is, and then we'll get into the litter boxes.
You know why? Because Genevieve, by the way, we had Janine from Afro Chic on earlier.
I love her.
Yes, well, good, because I totally blended your names.
Oh, Janine and Genevieve?
Yeah, I called you Janine Gorder.
Thanks a lot for remembering all that personal time we had together.
Yeah,
it must have meant a lot to you.
You know, when I say I do my best, I really don't mean it at all.
I'm totally fine with my name being murdered. Guinevere, Geneva, you name it. I've been called it.
Oh, that is awesome. Guinevere?
Oh, yeah, that's the most frequent, yeah. I don't know how you get there from my name, but there's a G at the beginning and an E at the end. I guess that's what they have in common. Genevieve, Genovese, like the Italian mafia family. I get that.
What?
I get everything but my name.
Oh, well, we get that with our last name, so we can empathize. I know, and if
play a violin together.
Yeah, I know. What's the world's smallest one? Is that it? Somehow you do that? I don't know. And anyway, Spartan Race is an obstacle course race. So they hold it typically on a mountain, like a ski mountain. The last one I did was Killington in Vermont, and it's a running race that's all off road. And along the way, there are different obstacles. You have to jump over stuff, swim, climb things, lift things, carry things, dive in the mud, crawl under barbed wire, jump over fire.
That sounds fun.
Yo, it's psychotic. You would love it. You're signed up. I just signed you up for one.
Well, you look great. You look like you're about 25.
Someone hand me the $20, please. Say, do you take Bitcoins? Do you take Bitcoins or PayPal? Because I gotta send that over to you right now.
I definitely have a PayPal account. You can send it right on in.
Nice.
Are you in your attic?
We are in our attic. This is our studio, the 3rd floor of our headquarters.
Studio.
You should have one.
Is it easy?
No, this is really complicated. This is, you will love this. These are the actual, what am I touching here? What can you see? I'm trying to look at myself looking at you. Yeah, this is a hip rafter right here. And these are the jack rafters of the house. And we set the drywall inside them and put a little thing here so that we could have the Tudor look. Sort of exposed beams without being drywall. You know, all drywall.
Well, it looks very cozy. All you need are a couple microphones, right? Like, I got to do this.
Oh, yeah. This is it. It's a little more than that. You know, we got people all over the place and equipment and all kinds of things that our cats walk on. No, they don't. I didn't say that to everyone on the internet. We run. It's like the Navy SEALs over here of audio video production.
I'm believing it. It looks serious.
Oh yeah, we get it done. We put it out, Genevie. I'm telling you.
Keep on keeping on. I will laugh the whole way through. I will answer to anything at this point.
So, you must. I mean, you're doing so many different projects. You've renovated your own home. You've got HGTV. You've got You Live or You Live. No one knows.
Yeah. You Live. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going back to no one knows.
Yeah.
And
I got a YouTube show. I just launched a magazine, and I have 2 ships launching next month.
Now the ship.
And a hotel in the spring. Yeah.
God, the ship thing blows me away. Not only because it's one letter different than what we're supposed to be talking about, but because, like, what did you design for them?
I designed all the staterooms and the lofts and suites, basically your bedrooms on the ship. I didn't design the whole ship. I designed your room, basically, what takes care of you on the ship.
How much crown molding did you use?
None.
Oh!
Yeah, you'd be so impressed with how these things are actually built. I mean, it is a giant jigsaw puzzle of, engineering brilliance. And they come together in these huge blocks in hangars that are like 10, 20 stories high in Germany, and everything is floating on water. It's insane. It was like a design nerd fest that I'll never forget in my life, just being a part of making a ship. But they really let me play. And, of course, there's a team that kind of makes all of my ideas come to fruition, and we're launching November 18th. From New York, so it'll be the first, voyage. So it's a big deal. I'm really excited.
That is awesome. Now, are you going on the voyage, or are you just seeing the voyage off? Nice.
You want to come?
Yeah, totally.
It's 2 days. You're pressed. You can totally come. I can invite all my blogger friends, press, anybody. It's just for 2 days in and out.
I'm getting everybody sitting around me. They're all nodding their heads. Yes, yes, yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say just whatever it is.
You and your sick lady to come.
Oh, she would love it. That would be fantastic. So we're in. We'll go.
Oh, all right. I'll send you the invite.
Please do. Oh, that's great. Now, at some point, because the internet kicks you out if you don't talk about the topic you're supposed to talk about for at least 1% of the time, it's in the...
How boring.
It's in your iTunes user agreement. I mean, so.
Oh, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was reading mine the other day for Google Play, I saw that. So, Designing for
Okay,
poop, Genevieve Gorder. Designing for poop. You even said it at Real Genevieve on Twitter. We're talking crap with MyFixitUpLife. Diaper pails, litter boxes. Just talk to me about crap.
About crap?
Yeah, or designing around crap.
For crap.
Either way.
Designing for crap. I mean, well, that's basically what our bathrooms and pet outhouses are. It's basically, you know, a sanctuary for poop. So, what do you want first? The do's, the don'ts? Stylistically how to fit them in your home? Where do you want to go? We can go anywhere with that.
Jeez, you do so many different things. And you know what? Of all the things you've designed, have you used zero clearance showers, wall-mounted toilets, those kinds of things in bathroom remodels, renovations, new homes?
I have not on television. I have in the private world. Typically, those things are kind of priced out of television budget restoration shows or renovation shows. But I have used them. I'm using them right now on the Upper East Side. That's why I was late. I was just getting back from a client's house up there who are going to be using them. So, yes. Am I into toilet design? You know, it's a limited category. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. I'm not into a lot of gadgets. I'm not into, you know, it playing music and warming your butt. I don't plan on staying there for too long. I kind of want to do what I got to do, and then I want to go. And that's what I really think the toilet is all about. Sleek, beautiful, really not the star of the room ever, nor should it be. I would focus more on the tile, on the artwork in the bathroom, on the fixtures. The toilet is definitely like, while task-driven, it is one of the most important pieces. It's probably fifth or sixth on like the elements that are important in that space. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. So are you a big fan then, if you're talking about designing a bathroom, an actual separate room or area for the toilet that's kind of separate from the rest of the bathroom, the tub, the shower, etc.?
A poop cubby?
Hold on. I got to add that to my... I've been keeping a list of things no one has ever said to me before today. And I'm just going to...
There's your list.
Moving up that to the top.
You know,
poop cubby.
Ideally, I think we all want this little cubby to go swirl away in and do what we have to do. Absolutely separate from the grandeur and really... A water shrine is what a bathroom is. It's about clean. It's about cleaning yourself. It's about ritual. It's about beauty. And then we have the toilet, which is, you know, the polar opposite. It doesn't get any dirtier than that. It would be ideal to always have this in a separate space. However, most of us don't have enough space in our bathrooms to really warrant this or let this happen. I mean, even in the most expensive apartments in New York, I oftentimes can't do that. That just happened today. So it's about distracting you from the toilet. I do one thing with toilets that I think is important. It's the flush. I like the flushers on the side. I like them on top of the tank. I like them in the unexpected spot. I like a button. I like a little wave over the toilet to make it flush. I just don't like the big clunky flusher in the very front. I usually don't go silver. I'll go bronze. I'll go brass. I'll do custom flushers and colors just to make it a little more interesting. It's a dirty task. You might as well make it as pretty as you can.
I honestly thought you were going to add one more, the one you can't find.
I don't like that. I don't like. I was about to swear. I don't like stuff I can't find.
Yeah.
That is not functioning. And when function is not meeting form, we don't have good design. So boo, I can't find the flush.
Design question. Personal opinion, and if you've ever used it. The old-fashioned, and I think this is a real name for it, the high tank toilet, where the tank is up on the wall. I think that's called a crapper toilet. Have you used those?
From Ireland or... have I used those? I've used them personally. I have never installed them in a home. Here's why. I sometimes think they're trying a little bit too hard, even if I'm going for an era-specific bathroom where I have all the exposed piping, you know, very turn-of-the-century English. That would most likely be the toilet that they would have. However, I just feel, again, it's drawing too much attention to the thing that is least aesthetically pleasing in a bathroom, which is the toilet. So I think it's more of a gimmick now than it is something that really needs to come back. You know, it's like the 70s. We're not going to bring back the chalet architecture because it shouldn't come back. But maybe we'll bring back some wallpaper prints that are crazy and funny. But, you know, you got to know what to leave back there. That's what I would leave.
You're just ridiculous. Fantastic. I have so many questions. So many questions. So can we change it? You are a parent. You have a child who has gone through all the stages of diapers, diaper pailery, toilet training. I just invented a term, diaper pailery. If the medical community could get back to me on that right away, that'd be good.
Put it on your list.
Yeah, put it on my list. Do you have tips, tricks, things you've done at home to mitigate what essentially is a trash can full of poop and pee-pee?
You know, I'm big into trash cans. I think trash cans are actually pretty beautiful, and the diaper pail can fall into that category. I don't chintz on my diaper pail. I don't do plastic because it permeates too much of the smell. I definitely go for the rock-solid metal, stainless steel, and there are a number of competitors out there that deal with, like, medical supply waste that are serious as far as holding dirty business. Yeah, I'll even shop, you know, medical supply houses for my diaper pails. Because A, it's cheaper because they're not all blinged out, you know, Italian style and charging almost $1,000 for a beautiful, you know, vessel. It'll be a quarter of the price, and it'll be even more functional. And then after you're done with the diapers, it works great as a garbage can in your kitchen. I also have, I wish I could take you on a tour of my house. I have industrial garbage cans from like early 1900s in India. I have 1850s garbage cans from New York, and I have, you know, the Oscar the Grouch garbage can. You know, these are things that are super functional and are going to be out because they're bigger, so they might as well look cool. So I feel like the vintage aesthetic with these industrial metals is way sexier than what we do now. I don't want the cylinder that everyone else has, and I can't get as much garbage first.
You know,
I want a fifth floor walk up. I don't want to be walking up and down every single, you know, half hour.
What I'm pulling out of this whole conversation is, first of all, I would love it if you could give us a tour of your place right now. That would be super awesome. But since we can't do that, I'm feeling that you have a total blend of utility and functionality and super bitchin' good looks that just works for, you could take a photograph of it, you could do a TV show there, and you can then, when everyone leaves, live your real life there.
That's the success of a home. It has to work. If everyone knows where the garbage goes, you don't have to throw it away. If it looks good being out, you don't take up more real estate. You could have storage for your plates, your tableware, and your linen. You know, garbage is something you don't want to see, but the vessel that holds it definitely can be and should be. Why not? We don't have to be confined to what's offered at Bed Bath & Beyond. There's so many options, you know?
I know it. Do you go, so personal question, not that every single one of these hasn't been grossly personal, but do you go like to people's homes or you get invited to a party or whatever, you go in there and it's like everything's white plastic. It's like every next house has the same diaper pail or trash can or, you know, stuff in the garage and you just want to tear your hair out. Like, what's your reaction to like the everythingness of some design items?
You know, I don't punish people or, you know, get to a point where I want to punch myself in the face if I see the same mistake over and over. This is what people think which is why people are scared to have me over. So I don't want to, I don't want to propel that idea at all. Like, I really can. I mean, I'll look and I'll think, but I'm not going to be like, you need to boop, 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 boop. I don't have that problem. But, yeah, I think what people get stuck in is thinking that they have to buy these certain sets, or that they need all of these components to have the right nursery or the right dining set or the right kitchen set. And things match, and things are very contrived, and things are also very easy. It doesn't make you think. You just can scoop it up, and it's like kitchen in a box, nursery in a box. So does that aesthetically bother me? Yeah, because I think that we're all smarter than that. We imagine harder than that, and especially for children, they see much, much more than any of us. So they see it harder than you do. So I think it's just adding a couple of extra steps and taking a couple of extra minutes to think outside what's being shoved in your face. Because if that were the case, and really like how we ate, we'd all be eating fast food nonstop. It's easy. It's easy, and it's right there, and it's quick. And that's kind of like fast food design, are those sets and plastics, and cheap and easy. Will give you all the function you need. It'll be kind of cute, and it'll kind of bug you at the same time. But, hey, who cares? It's disposable. I'd rather you think about everything you put in your home as something that serves a purpose but could serve a different purpose later if it's a very specific one that it needs to handle at this point in your life, like the diaper pail becoming the garbage can later, like the garbage pail becoming a planter later. If it's pretty enough, if it's cool enough, you just want to keep using it, and then you stop buying. And that's beautiful because you stop spending money.
So here's what my wife would say right now. She would say, you have just outlined the very reason anybody should buy one set, and that's really the wrong word, but one set of nice clothes, one foundation piece that is not super cheap, that you don't buy with a coupon, that you can wear as a foundation for other pieces of your wardrobe so that it won't be out of style next year and it won't rip in 6 months, but you can have it for a long time. But you have to spend money on it in the beginning, not $1 million, but you can't go in and say, I got 10 cents off on this and expect it to do anything but be worth less than 10 cents.
Right, a home is the same way. It's like you buy your Gucci piece, and then you H&M and Zara and Goodwill the rest. It's, the pieces that you want to last. Your sofa, that's where you drop some money. Your bed, that's where you drop some money. Your bedding, you drop some money. But your top of bed, your accessories, your throw pillows, the pottery, the ceramics that you bring in as, onto the dresser, these are all things you're going to get sick of and you're going to change around and add different function to, and you shouldn't spend a lot. I never tell people to spend haute couture on every single mug in their house. It would look silly. It's like a person walking down the street and Fendi, Gucci, Dolce with a little bit of Tom Ford on top. It's too much. Too much. It's about balance.
So Genevieve Gorder, follow her at The Real Genevieve on Twitter. Go on her cruise. Check out those rooms. We're going, obviously. I guess we have nothing to do that day. And follow what she's doing on HGTV. Genevieve, thank you so much for spending time with us. And if I see you going out to the convenience store...
Nice to see you again.
Yay! Take care, Genevieve. We'll be back with more My Fix It Up Life. Time to bring beauty back in your next project by seeing red. Born to beat the elements, Western Red Cedar is awesome for outdoor rooms, decks, fences, pergolas, and more. Inside, Cedar's a sweet choice for hope chests, highlight walls, and woodworking projects, big and small. Stable, chemical-free, and safe, Cedar's a natural choice. So bring beauty back to the yard and punch up projects inside the house. For more information and ideas, see red at WRCLA.org. Sanding walls before you paint? Do it the Hyde way, not the hard way, with Hyde's dust-free sander. Attach to your wet-dry vac and go. No drywall dust on your furniture, no tough cleanup when you're done. Buy online at Amazon.com. and you are back inside My Fix It Up Life, you've made it to the end of the show. So make sure you flush and wash your hands, because we have talked designing with poop. Watch our videos, YouTube, hang out with us on Google+. Email us, info@myfixituplife.com. Like us on Facebook, check out our Pinterest page, and be right here for when we do this again. Thank you from us at My Fix It Up Life.
Another wasted memory tonight. I'd like to wait and see. It might be first date on a